Hello and welcome to Stay Paid, the sales and marketing podcast from ReminderMedia, on a mission to help you close more deals and retain more business so you can live a life of freedom tomorrow, but only if you take action today. My name is Joshua Stike. This is Luke Acree.
This is Luke Acree. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you might see an imposter on Instagram. I don't know who made it at the company. I haven't tracked down the specific person. Made like a meme account of me called Luke Acree.
Yeah.
You know, where this guy loves cake, not sales.
He loves cake so much.
Yeah, that cake's not everything. It's the only thing. So if you get bored with Luke Acree's content at Instagram, find Luke Acree. Cakery, like Luke Cakery, and you'll find me there. So anyways, that's how I'm doing right now.
Well, that's awesome. Well, this podcast is all about taking action. And I got to tell you, Luke, our guest today knows how to take action. He is an absolute killer on the phones with a love for sales and has a passion for social media, having studied advertising and digital marketing. His name is Mario Eldin, and he's been practicing real estate for more than a decade in New York City before making the move to Orange County, California, where he's currently helping to build Present Financial Properties. Mario, welcome to the podcast.
What's up, man?
Dude, how you guys doing? What's up? Dude, I'm excited to have you. Everybody's got to go.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, everybody's got to go to the YouTube channel and watch this guy because you can see like his smile comes through the camera. It's crazy, man. Great energy.
Yeah. I'm like blazing right now with energy, so let's get the show on the road, baby.
Hey, tell people where they can follow you on Instagram, man, because I want everybody to follow you on Instagram. Tell them your Instagram handle.
No doubt. So my handle is at Mario Eldin, Mario Eldin, ELD as in Danny, IN as in Nancy.
I want you guys to follow this guy because I follow him.
He's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, he's hilarious.
It's the funniest stories.
Super energetic. And then also, he really is showing you the grind, as you would call it, as much as you can show the grind on social media. But the grind in all my real estate agents out there, I mean, this guy is, and we'll get into this on the podcast, but he's door knocking, he's cold calling, he just moved from New York. Now he's out. And where are you exactly in California?
In California, I'm in this awkward middle between Newport Beach and Costa Mesa. It's like a block down is Newport Beach and a block up is Costa Mesa.
Gotcha. So you went from Brooklyn out there. So he went from the hard-nosed people to the hippies. I'm being a little stereotypical, but we're going to talk about that on the podcast today. We're going to get into that.
Test.
But hey, man, introduce yourself to the audience. Like, tell them a little bit about you, how you got into real estate, who you are. Give them kind of the Cliff Notes version, and let's dive into kind of how you're growing your business today.
No doubt. Let's get the show on the road. So my name is Mario Eldin, and I am a realtor. I'm just kidding. Besides that, before I'm a realtor, I'm actually my decade of experience is really in marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing. So like I have a big background on like building custom PHP websites, WordPress sites, CSS. So I come from that background. It's not just like realtor. So I'm a big geek when it comes down to that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was around when SEO was so cool. I know a lot of SEO people who want to murder me for saying that. But you know, I was around for that. And so like marketing and advertising, I have a degree in advertising, public relations and technology. So you know, I get around, you know, like so like that was that. And then fast forward, I graduated college really late because I used to play the trumpet for 10 years. And then my mom and dad told me that it was a hobby. So I left music and hit the streets.
You played the trumpet, right?
I did. That was my first instrument, the trumpet, man.
Get out of here,
we're like kindred souls.
In the duet.
We're kindred souls here because my degree is software engineering. And I was doing back-end website stuff.
That's so cool.
I didn't have the marketing side at the time, but software. And then, I played the trumpet as well. But you graduated late because you played the trumpet. Usually it's because you partied too hard.
No,
but this kid played.
Not because I played the trumpet. No, my mom and dad said it was a hobby. They had like a lot of control over me when I was younger. So then like I went to school physical therapy. I got kicked out of school. I was on probation.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm not going to be a physical therapist. So I found a way out and was to get in trouble. So then I hit the streets and I started like making money. And I'll say this proudly. All the money that I've made in the streets was legal. I've never done anything illegal. I've never pushed weight or nothing like that. So I'm very proud of that.
I like how he had to say that.
Yeah. So, you know how many people from Brooklyn, man? Yeah. You know, like, are you kidding me, bro? I was around that, man. I know what it is. So like I've worked since I was 15 years old. I got my working papers as soon as I can get them, the little green papers, and my mom to sign, and I was off to work. So I graduated college. I went back to college when I was 25. Graduated when I was like 27, turning 28. And then after that, I hit like a big ass chunk of depression. Because I don't know, not really depression, because I don't think I was depressed. I was just like really confused, down in the daze, just floating. Just not knowing what I want to do. Fast forward, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this one last thing. This is how it started. It's not really a special story. I was like, I'm going to try this one last thing because it's been in my face this whole time. Everybody keeps pushing me towards it, you know? Oh, you look really great. You can do really great, blah, blah. You got the attitude for it. You got this and that. It's like, all right.
You were successful in the streets?
Yeah, because in the streets, all I did was sales. Like I was either going door to door selling fire extinguishers. I was always doing some kind of sales, whether I was on selling websites, selling marketing packages, social media packages when Facebook was really cheap, whatever. Like I was always selling something. So I was like, all right, cool. So I took my real estate test, and in 3 weeks, I was a realtor in Brooklyn, New York. And my first week, I made like $5,000. Like,
did you really? What'd you do?
Yeah,
were you doing rentals, or what'd you do?
Yeah, man. You know, them flip like hotcake, boy. Woo! Anybody that's in New York City that starts in real estate, they can make money ASAP if they're down to get dirty, down to the hustle, down to like get torn up by these New York City landlords because they're tough. No filter, nobody's soft over there. Everybody tells you straight to your face. There's no politically correct. None of that. It doesn't exist. So if you're okay with that, you're gonna make money.
Sounds like my type of place.
There you go, man.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna create a course about that because there's zero courses.
Cool.
I'm in the middle of making it for New York City real estate agents. that want to get into the business and want to make money fast doing rentals. So that's something in the works.
Nice.
Yeah. So I started doing real estate, and I started at a rental company. I was flipping leases for apartments, homes, condominiums, and commercial as well.
Okay.
Because commercial in New York City is a little different than commercial here in California. Because here they have like big plazas, so you get like a strip of stores, and it's like, all right, go rent it out. I mean, that's available as well, but it's not likely. Over there, it's little mom and pop shops, little shops, random ones on the streets, and they'll have, and you know, just you cold call, you try to get the landlord to give you a chance, and you know.
So that's how you built. That's how you built your lease business, or your, you know, doing the rentals and stuff. You were cold calling.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, okay. It was a lot of. Yeah, listen, the phone, man. The phone is like the most dangerous tool in the world.
Yes. Can you hear my applause on this audio? I don't know. Yeah.
especially for anyone that's starting off.
Yes.
It will you up. So like it will ruin your confidence, your self-esteem. You look yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, I hate you. What the f*** are you doing? It'll make you talk to yourself in the shower. It's true.
Dude, your lowest days will be on the phones and your best days will be on the phones. It's a crazy.
100%. And I mean, and by the way, guys, when Luke says low, really low.
Yeah. I mean, like the bottom really of the bottle.
Yeah, because I'll tell you why, man. People are very different when they're protected behind something that they can't be like grabbed by. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people are like keyboard warriors on social media, and they're, you know, and they grow like, and they're on steroids when they're on the phone, right?
And telemarketers are not real people. Like, people treat them like dirt. I mean,
yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, dude, like, listen, that's one of the biggest, one of the biggest, but one of the reasons why calling is such a fucking headache, because you have big groups like that, and big companies like that call nonstop, offering. So like, there's a huge stigma now, and unfortunately, as a realtor, you just having that designation that you pay so much money for is already working against you, because right away we have a bad rep. Yeah, he's a realtor. He's a scumbag son of a trying to get money out of us, or that's trying to get commission. Automatically, it's true. We have a very bad rep as realtors.
No, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. The industry has a bad rep. And I think a little bit of that, and this obviously podcast is not to get into maybe the details of that, but I think a little bit of it is in 3 weeks, you got your license. I mean, in 3 weeks. I think, you know, maybe it's too easy to get licenses is what people say. And just like you get so many people jumping into real estate and they don't treat it as a profession. Sales, and I know you attended the 10X Growth Con, too, and we attended that. And one of the things I think that Grant Cardone says that touches on what you're talking about a little bit in the directness is he talked about, sales is just about being real with people. It's not this voodoo, made up, magical manipulation, this type of stuff. It's being just straight up with people. Like what you did right there to that person is just said, hey, I'll walk away. No problem, I'll walk away. But are you sure you want to do this? Where instead of trying to manipulate the situation and instead of trying to I'll
tell you what it is, man. You know what's crazy? A lot of realtors, the salespeople in general, they're too scared to talk. Logic. Yo, break it down to them. Are you willing to lose? I literally so I don't know if anybody's probably will watch this on YouTube. I'm grabbing my phone right now.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a $2,000 apartment times 12, right? So $2,000 times 12 months, that's $24,000. So if you're going to sit on the market for another 3 months, are you willing to lose $6,000 out of that rent just because you want to wait until the guy that's advertising it gets you the right person? What if it's 6 months? What if it's 12,000 that you're losing out? And then you're renting it out by the summer, and then you know what I mean?
There's a golden nugget right there for the audience. If you guys missed that, it's a golden nugget right there. Rewind it, listen to it. Being direct with people and being willing to step out of your comfort zone. And it is. Some people right now listening to this, I know probably feel a little bit like they're tense, like their pressure is on them, right? Because it feels really like pressure. But the reality is, and this is what I teach salespeople all the time, is look, where does growth come from? It comes from pain. Where does change come from? It comes from pain. There's gonna be in the buying process and in the selling process, there's gonna be a little bit of pain. Now, it should be a good pain. There's a difference between bad pain and good pain. There's a good pain when you're at the gym and you're breaking down the muscle and you're rebuilding the muscle. It's a good pain, right? Because you get something out of it. There's value that comes. It fulfills. But you're gonna have to put people in a position where they have to make a decision. And human beings hate making decisions and they hate stepping out of their comfort zone. And being direct is the best way to do it. And the reason why I know this for a fact is because if you don't manipulate, if you don't dance around the point, you know who you're real, you're authentic, you're trustworthy, and you're a straight shooter. Hey, this is what it is. And hey, we don't have to do the deal, but this is what it is. And are you willing to risk this pain? And if you are, hey man, that's up to you, but I want to get this deal done. Let's roll. As Grant would say, let's roll.
Exactly.
Let's roll. Let's do this. But I just want the audience to know that, hey, that's a golden nugget. Being direct with people. It changed our sale in our company, and we're selling obviously to tons of different businesses. You're selling real estate. Being direct with people is a golden nugget.
Yeah, and I just want to hone in on something you just said. The word when you have to not persuade. You didn't say persuade. What'd you say?
I like that though. It's persuade. Yeah.
That sounds like a better word than you would use, Luke.
Yeah, you said
it probably does. My vocabulary, my wife told me, is not very large. She did tell me that one time.
Oh, manipulate. You said manipulate. Yeah. So I just want to tell everybody that's listening, there's a positive manipulation and there's a negative manipulation. Because a lot of people hear that and they want to get all kumbaya me and shit. Manipulate. That's so not cool, man. It's bro. Hold up. This is how you differentiate good manipulation and bad manipulation. And only the person that's doing the manipulating, quote unquote, will know if it's bad or good. And how would they know? Your intentions, buddy.
Intent. Yep.
Your intentions. If that voice in the back of your head is being evil, you're being a scumbag, and you're manipulating in a negative way. But if your intentions are actually pure, you should give zero about being manipulative or not, or even being perceived as that, because your intentions are pure. Mm-hmm. So you shouldn't worry about that. You should go all in, right? Because
I love that, man.
I had to manipulate my daughter to eat green beans last night, so I get it.
Right, but I bet you're doing it for a good reason.
Right, I'm just going to call out all the golden nuggets on this podcast. That's a golden nugget. No, but that's so true. So okay, so you're obviously making cold calls. You're being direct, right? You're hustling, grinding, for lack of better words, and you start building a real estate business. How long were you in Brooklyn building this? Where did it get to? And then let's talk about this journey of why did you not jump ship in a bad way, but why did you now take this huge opportunity to move out to, in between Costa Mesa and Newport Beach, I think
Newport
you said?
Beach.
Yeah. So what made that? Like, walk us through that journey.
All right. Well, it happened. I went to Agent 2021 with Gary Vee.
Okay.
Agent 2021.
Yeah.
Right. That's how it all started. I met people there. And then we followed each other on Instagram, and they would just watch my hustle. Cause I'm always on my stories. I'm really big on social. It's a huge part of my personal brand, online and offline. So they were just watching. I was watching them, and we were always keeping in contact. One thing led to another. A phone call came up, and they were like, yo, move, be the VP and partner, and let's build this. Now, to me, I am a very spastic. I don't really think much.
No, you're not.
I'm telling you. I am. Yeah, I'm crazy when it comes down to certain things.
That's why I love you, man. That's why I love following you.
Yeah.
It's
I'm crazy.
awesome.
So all it took was one phone call. I was like, all right, I'm coming to Cali. I got something. I'm gonna go start packing now. I'll hit you up in a couple of weeks to let you know when I'm coming. That's what happened. So that same day I started figuring out how I'm going to get out there. And
did you have a good business in Brooklyn? Was it a good business for you there as a real estate agent? Did you feel like you had built something, or was it easy to leave?
Okay, so it was it was not easy leaving Brooklyn.
Okay,
I'm a Brooklyn boy. I mean, I am. It's my core.
Sure.
When I came out here, I was making everybody cry that came in my way because the people here are so sensitive, and I guess I'm overly edgy, I guess, or very forward to where people are closing their ears and shit. This guy keeps saying the word so many times, man. And it was just so I was clashing with people because and again, my intent was good, but
sure.
I'm just going to talk to you, man. This is how I talk. God forbid, I call somebody in the conference room yo, stop being a they look at me say that? Yeah, let's continue. Let's keep talking, back in Brooklyn, man, if you're sitting in a group, if you're sitting with your boys and and you guys aren't calling each other scumbags, you guys aren't real friends. You know what I mean? Somebody has to be called a scumbag at least a couple
times. There's actually a great book called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. It's a phenomenal book. And I mean, it doesn't phrase it that way, but it is the same. It basically says that. It basically says, the best relationships are built on trust, and you can't have trust with people unless you're vulnerable, unless you're real. And you call people scumbags. When they're scumbags, you call them, you're real with them. But they're not scumbags. Your brother,
scumbag.
Your brother, you're real with. Your brother, you'll punch. Exactly. I know because I had a bunch of brothers growing up. But meaning you'll fight, hate each other, and the next day you're beating up other kids because they can't pick on your brother. But so it's that same type of idea. So obviously you have this business. It's hard to leave. You make the jump because you're just, you see the opportunity. Now walk us through getting out to, California. Walk us through what did you do day one to build your business in California as a real estate agent? Because that's super practical for our audience.
Yeah. So in New York, just to go back to what you just said, when I was in Brooklyn, I was very heavy on rentals, volume rentals. Cause then, listen, if you're a kick agent that's down for the hustle, you can make anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month once you get into it on rentals. But you're busting your ass, man, because in order for you to close anywhere between 5 to 10 deals a month, you need 30 to 50 leads a month. Because you're going to deal with a lot of red tape from landlords, because landlords are a little, they have their own standards that we want to get into, right? So they deny a bunch of people for no good reasons. So you have to deal with that shit, and then you have to get rid of them. And, credit score, income, surprises that are hiding in the paperwork.
Closet. Yeah.
You need a lot, right? So I did a lot of that, and then towards the end, while I was transitioning, before I found out I was going to Cali, I was transitioning into sales, right? So I didn't really get much of a chance to go all in on that in New York, because this came up, and I was like, okay, I have to get ready and make this move. So I took my test when I got to Cali. I passed it the first time, which I was really thankful because I heard everybody telling me that nobody passes it from the first time. I was in the elevator with 3 to 4 people. They were there for like the third and second time. I was like,
wow.
I did that. And then as soon as I got my license, the first thing that I did was set up my team in the office with a cold calling platform.
Okay. Which one did you choose?
So I've tried out like the top 3 in my opinion. My opinion are the top 3. The Red X.
Red X. Okay.
Okay. The Red X. And then you have Vulcan 7.
Yep.
And then you have Mojo, which is a kick-ass dialer as well. Okay.
Actually, so Mojo is what my brother Steven, I believe, uses. If anybody's wondering. So yeah.
Those three are great. The Red X, I personally didn't like it because they give you a plethora of numbers, but it's majority of them are bogus.
Okay.
You're not on the phone with the decision maker.
Okay.
Mojo I like Mojo too, but Vulcan 7 really won because Vulcan 7, their accuracy is fucking crazy. Like if I'm like 99%, I'm on the phone with the homeowner.
Wow, 99%. That's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, like, and by the way, this is different. I don't know what state you're in. I'm talking about California.
Sure, yeah.
I'm talking about New York City. Thus far from experiencing that, Vulcan 7 is kicking. It's great. And it's, the lowest, the basic package comes with 2 lines.
Okay.
So you can have 2 realtors call at the same time.
Okay.
They give you emails. You can do an email drip campaign from there. It has like it's a whatever CRM really. Like I don't use it, but it has it if anybody's starting off and you're just doing cold calling, it could benefit you. It has something called, Storyteller, which is a video email, system that they can use where you could put the video aspect in it.
Nice.
The quality of it isn't really good but still, like, it's a feature there.
What leads are you calling? Are you calling expireds and FSBOs? What are you calling?
So I call expireds, new expireds. I call past expireds from 6 to 12 months ago.
Okay.
Sometimes even longer that I never relisted. And I'm calling FSBOs.
Okay. So you're calling those three. What's kind of like, would you share like how many calls you were making a day or what's your normal day look like? How does that lead generation look for you?
So I don't gauge it by the number of phone calls I make. Okay. I sit down for 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
And just like bang out.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
Now, in 3 hours, you can make like 250, 300 phone calls, but like connect with like 10, 15, 20, 25 people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's a hit or miss.
Yep. Correct.
So that's why I'm not going to sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to like connect with like 50, 30 people today because I might be there all day. And that's not really like smart, like, cause after a while, listen, like, even for me, man, and like, I can like,
and you're a phone warrior.
I'm down with somebody me off on the phone or whatever. Like, listen, I get aggravated. Don't get me wrong. I'm human, right?
Right.
So you have to bypass it and keep going and realize that a lot of other jerk off agents are getting on the phone, cursing these people out and acting like an amateur, which is why now you're like the 10th, 100th, 50th person to call, and they're like, yo, another jerk off is calling me. And they just hung up with a rookie. They got aggravated or said some stupid shit or didn't know how to handle it or wasn't trained. So a lot of that's going on. You know what I mean? So like, you need to think about it. On the 1st of every month, so many expires.
Yes, and every realtor's calling. Yep.
Exactly. And when I say every realtor, you got the seasoned, you got the mid, the rookies, you got everybody calling them. Everybody's calling them.
Yep.
So what I figured out, and this might be a golden nugget to a few, and this is only from what I've seen now in California. I'm not talking about New York no more. In California is that new expireds, I no longer aggressively hit. Right?
Okay.
I call new expireds once to twice a week in order to feel them out. What do I mean by that? I call to have a conversation. Now I'm gonna get into this whole cold calling thing because there's like this stigma or this like a book of standards that doesn't exist, this invisible book of standard that you have to be a certain way on the phone. I'll get into that in a second. I think people benefit from that. But I call them to feel them out and have a conversation with them to see like what their deal is. Because sometimes they're expired, sometimes they're withdrawn, sometimes they cancel. Now, usually when they're withdrawn or canceled, they might be taking a break. They might be going away. They might be, you know what, taking a break. They got discouraged after staying for 60, 70 days. They're like, you know what, I'm going to chill out for a little bit, and I'm going to try in June. I'm going to try in July. I'm going to try after the holidays, blah, 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 blah. So, you have to call and feel out the situation, because if you're going to, the reason why I say this is because once I figure out, okay, so you're not taking a break, your realtor didn't do a good job, you're saying you're not going to list. I know you're going to list sooner or later. You're just talking out of emotion. So like, I get that.
Yep.
So you have to see past that. Because people hear the word no and they're like, oh, okay, well, good luck to you, Susan. It's like, no, Susan is upset. Susan is mad because John the realtor sucked and he charged her 1% for nothing. So you have to call Susan back when she's in a good mood. However, if Susan isn't working with the realtor, expired, blah, 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 all this jazz, and I know she's just feeling discouraged because I see how many days on market she's had on. Now that is someone that I door knock. I no longer call expireds. I call to feel them out, just so I'm not wasting my time, because you can burn a lot of energy and time, door knocking expireds blindly, right? So cherry pick your expireds. Cherry pick out of them, right? Because you only really need one if you're starting off, you know what I mean? Or two, or whatever the case may be. So start cherry picking your expireds, and by doing that, you have to put them through a vetting process. You have to vet them on the phone to figure out, is it worth me knocking? Now, once you knock on the door, right? Why is that a good thing? Because in the first phone call, it's your job to figure out using your script, right? It's very important. They exist for a reason. And it's not to be read. It's to be understood. NLPs, what are NLPs? Why are words being said this way? Why are we emphasizing on these key words? Why does this word become before this word? You have to understand the science behind it. And it's not to be read. It's to be understood and then made into your own. You have to like infuse it with your own personality and character.
It's a golden nugget.
Because you don't want to sound like everybody.
That's the truth.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So don't read scripts, because you'll have people on there be like, are you reading a paper? What are you going to say?
Man, this guy's speaking truth into your life right now. He's speaking
true, man. It's true, because it's been said to me.
No, it's true, dude. I don't know where, I can't remember where I heard this. Always remember this with your scripts. You want to memorize, internalize, and personalize. Like you want to go through that process, memorize, internalize, personalize. And if you do that with your scripts, then at the end of the day, you're not reading a script anymore. I mean, you really have an understanding and a belief in what you're saying and why you're saying it. And then you make it, because you make it your own. Yep. Correct.
It's yours. But I want to just jump back into this because this is going to help people out, man. And then this stop. So once you figure out what script you like, and there's no perfect script, ladies and gentlemen. There's no perfect script. Your script will forever change, because you might hear something in a podcast, you might hear something on a YouTube channel, and you want to embed that into your repertoire. You're right, like, oh shit, man, like I hear this a lot. I always attract this kind of like rebuttal or this kind of objection. I mean, this would be a great one to like add into my arsenal of whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it will forever change. It will forever evolve. So back to what I was saying, when you're on the phone with Susan the first time, the expired, you figured out, okay, great. She's upset, but she's going to list, of course, because everybody's going to relist sometime in the future. You want to nurture her. So on the first phone call, you want to figure out, okay, how many offers have you gotten? If you sold this home, do you have another home? Where are you going? What's taking you there? You want to figure out why, how, what, when, where, everything. And again, you want to have a conversation. You're not going to be like, okay, so great. So now why this? Okay, well then why'd you do that? Like, you can't interrogate them. You want to have a flowing conversation, which is why you need to like mold your script into your fucking DNA and make it yours so you can sound human. And then now, because you built rapport on the first phone call and you were human, you didn't try to book a appointment. Don't try to book an appointment the first time, man. Think about it, my G. Like, yo, think about it. Please think about it. You have everybody calling Susan. She's getting harassed from every realtor that's sounding exactly the same. Because there's 3-4 scripts out there. You got Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, this guy, that guy. That's it. There's only 3-4 scripts out there. There's not a lot. There's not variety, right? And they all sound the same. Do you think that you're going to be that special, or your NLPs are going to be that much better that you're going to land a meeting with a new expired that just expired yesterday, and everybody's calling her Monday because everybody grows a chest on Monday morning? They're like, yo, this week I'm gonna kill it. It's Monday, baby. You know how many people do that on Monday? Realtors? Man. Bro, forget about it. So you are calling Susan to figure out if certain information, why she's withdrawn, why she's expired, why she's canceled. If that checks out, she's not working with the realtor, that checks out. She's open to hearing conversation, that checks out. You end the phone call by like, okay, well, great, Susan, listen, it sounds like, you're frustrated. I don't blame you. You sat on the market for 162 days. And, I'll check in on you later on just to see how you're doing. If you have any questions, I'm going to text you my information now. Just, if there's anything I could ever ask, then, you want to ask me, then, you can feel free to text me or call me, whatever you like.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question on that, because I'm just curious actually for myself. Do you gauge, because this has been my experience, and I'm curious to know if it's yours. Do you gauge based upon the phone call though? Meaning like the policy or the strategy, you go in going, I'm going to build the relationship. And I agree with you 100%. I found in phone calls with real estate versus other industries and other sales processes, the discovery phase is huge. That question asking in real estate is so big when it comes to phone calls. So the discovery phase is huge versus the value proposition phase in maybe other like sales processes. But my point being is like, I've always attacked it as in, strategy, build the relationship. Your job is to build that rapport, the discovery phase for your data to know what you need to do next with this lead to nurture it. You want to build the relationship. But if Susan opens up the door because the rapport has been struck, the whatever you want to call it, the connection is there, ABC, always be closing. Why not take that opportunity? Like, what's your thoughts there?
On the phone or in person?
On the phone. Like,
on the phone.
Do you judge it case by case, I guess is what I'm saying.
I love that question.
Yeah.
I love that question. I figured out now by being on the phone with new expireds, ladies and gentlemen. New expireds, not past expireds that have been on the that have been off the market for 6 to 12 months or FSBOs. New expireds, from my experience in California and in New York as well, but especially Cali, it's a lot. There's so many people doing it because there's no rental option here in Orange County. It's because the rentals here are taken on by some realtors, right? That know homeowners and whatnot, like in their network. But a lot of property management companies take over the whole renting thing, right? So I don't have like back in New York, you don't have like sales. You can jump right into rentals and make money right away. You're going to get dogged up. But hey, man, like there's money right there. And it's the way a lot of these rental people that are renting now in the future, they will buy. So it's up to you to put them in your CRM and
you build that database.
If you're doing rentals, and just like sending postcards during the holiday and like just one holiday so they know like, oh, every Christmas I get something from this person every time. And that's how they remember you. It's part of your personal brand. However, here, there's no option for rental. So everybody is calling for sales in Orange County. I'm in Orange County. Everybody's calling for sales. Everybody's after the Newport homes, the big homes, 20 million, 18 million, 5 million, 6 million. Everybody's going after homes, right? So, and everybody's trying to close. Why? Because that's what the scripts teach you.
So your unique differentiator, if I'm hearing you correctly, because I want to make sure I nail this or make sure I'm understanding to nail this on the head for the audience, is your unique differentiator is because you're in a market of everybody asking for the order. You're taking a unique route of going, I'm going to find out where this person is and make them feel really good because every other real estate agent called and asked to close, asked for something, take. You're just going to call and act like I'm checking in. I'm building the relationship. And then you're going to turn around and note it and then go door knock. So you've come up with a unique strategy that differentiates you in your sales process.
Right. And you have a lot of agents that tell you, nah, man, like that's whack. Like, what do you mean? Like, if you're really a closer, you're closed on the phone. All right. So you go close on the phone. but if you're trying to build a team that's not as sharp as you are, right? Because you have skin in the game and you've been around and you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Not everybody's going to be that way. So like, it's more efficient to call, have a conversation on the phone, get to know what's bothering them, why it didn't work.
Yeah. What's their pain point? Yeah.
Yeah. Just figure out just have a conversation. Don't try to close. Don't try to be like, just build rapport. The first phone call, just talk. Literally just have a conversation like we're having a conversation now. Just talk. Make light of things. Agree with them. Always agree with them and just talk to them. Cause you want to keep them on the phone. The longer you keep them on the phone it's really important. And people need to remember, they will always remember how the conversation ended.
Yep.
So what does that mean? No, I tell you why that's important. Because at the end, what do people do? Close. They try to close. That's the end of the phone call, right? They try to close. Okay, well, Susan, I'm around, I'll be around this Wednesday. I have a client to see right here in so-and-so area. It's about 5 miles, 6 miles out from you. I'll swing by right after them. Does 3 o'clock sound good? 3:30? I have an opening both times. What time is good for you? No, I just told you for 10 minutes that I got pain in my head and my back. I'm stressed out, and you want to meet me to give me information? No, man. Leave me alone.
So and here's go ahead. Yeah, I don't want to stop you. Keep going. Keep rolling.
So basically at the end, and like just end the conversation on a friendly note, like as if like, let's say me and you, Luke, are like we're having a conversation on the phone, man, and we're just like talking, just kicking phone, just chopping it up.
Right.
How was your week? Blah, 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 this and that. And at the end of the phone call, we're gonna end the phone call like friends. All right, cool. All right, man. Like, it was great chatting. I'll talk to you later on. Have a great weekend. That's it. But why is that important? Because when you want to call them again, they're going to pick up. And if they pick up, right?
Yep.
Well, not 100% pickup rate because there's nothing 100%, but you're increasing your chances of a pickup rate.
Sure.
Number 2, they're going to remember, when they remember you, they're going to remember, oh, this was the nice girl, the nice guy that just had a conversation with me. So they're not going to be as scared or defensive.
Sure.
As if you were the person that tried to close them. And 3, when you finally knock on the door and there's Susan, she comes out and she sees your big smile and you're all nice. And
hey man, we don't all have
like,
smiles
Susan.
like you. I mean, come on.
And you're like, Susan, it's me, Mario. I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago about your home. Here's some information that I drew up for you. Take a look at it. It might help you when you're ready to put it back on the market. And then if they ask you, why are you doing this? Or like, why are you helping me out? You know what I tell them? Well, Susan, the reason why I'm doing things for free and I'm willing to help you out for free, because in the future, when you're ready to list, or if you have any transactions in real estate that you might want to take care of, hopefully you might consider me. And that's why I'm giving you this gift today, and that's why I'm visiting you, trying to help out, because I'm in this game for the longevity, not for a hit and run. Just like that, verbatim. Just like that.
That's a good pitch.
And they all look at me
rewind that, guys, and listen to that again. That's a good pitch. Similar to that is, I want to say it's the MAPS program at Keller Williams. They do a similar type idea with a business card. They go and drop off value, offer to help, and then just give them their business card. And basically that same type of idea that, hey, if and when you need help in real estate, I just hope you consider me. I just hope to be that person. So it's very, very interesting. So here's the $1 million question then, man. How is that working for you in translating to transactions? Like what is the success you've seen for yourself? And then as you compare, obviously we're all comparing, numbers to other people and stuff like that, and there's good comparison and bad comparison, but that's the $1 million question. Where's this, how are you seeing that translate? Especially because you are into the business there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very transparent with you guys.
Yep.
Because I hate bullshit. I've been in the Cali real estate game now for 5 months.
5 months, okay.
4 months. 4 or 5 months, something like maybe 4.5 months going to 5 months. I'm not sure exactly. Somewhere around that. So not really long for a brand new market. Don't know the streets. Don't know. I could be 15 minutes away from home, completely lost.
I still get lost.
Straight up.
I get it, man.
Straight up. So I've had so far one listing, my first listing that I got, and this just goes to show you the kind of balls and skin that you need to have.
Oh yeah,
in this
man.
game. My first listing after months Months. It's not even that big of a property, right? Months. I finally signed the contract, signed the listing agreement. It's mine. Photography is done. I make a lifestyle video for Instagram and Facebook. I make a drone, all that stuff, like the best kind of stuff you could possibly imagine. Facebook campaigns they're being thought of and we're being started, and we're going to figure out how we're going to go about this. Mm-hmm. As soon as all the marketing material is ready to be deployed, I get a text saying, "Hey, somebody passed away. Oh, no. We're not going to sell the home anymore."
Oh, wow. And what do you say to that? That's like the best way to get out of anything. I know that sounds terrible.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong, man. I'm from New York. I was skeptical. I was like, man, this is something. Nobody died, man. You lying. You lying out your teeth. You lying to me.
Dude, I mean, the reason why I love hearing that, and I think the audience will appreciate hearing that, is because that is the roller coaster of business, let alone real estate. How do you deal with that, man? How did you deal with that psychologically?
It was my first breath of air. Like, my mouth was so dry. I was like waiting for
It's like you came up in the ocean and you're like, you gasp and all of a sudden another wave hits you. It's like,
and drowns the shit out of me. Exactly.
But how'd you deal with it? How'd you overcome it? What'd you do? What'd you tell yourself?
I'm my biggest hype man. So like, I generate all this like energy within myself. I don't like exterior motivation. That's like a whole nother topic. So I always keep myself in tune. I just told myself like, yo, like, listen, like, when you make it and you're worth 300 million, because like being a realtor isn't my end game. It's just something that I'm doing for right now because I enjoy it and I like real estate and that's the space that I want to be in.
Sure.
But it's not my end game. So I just says to myself like, listen, when you make it and you're on stage talking about it, you're going to have one story.
Love it.
It's going to be one hell of a story. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at the end of the day, ain't nobody going to come tell me that they're tougher than I am. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or they seen more, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got a story too, bro. We're in the same boat. You know,
it's a great way to overcome adversity, because I have in my own life done the same type of thing. Like, you can't write a book if you don't have anything to write about. You know what I mean? So it's like when you hit the adversity, it's like you have to kind of think to yourself, like, you can't speak on stage if you have nothing to speak about. You can't write a book if you have nothing to write about. I mean, this is just a chapter, a page in the story, and you got to remind yourself of that. So also,
you have to go through. Yeah.
So
like that. Yeah. So that listing went, and then I had another listing that came from the same thing, conversation. I had called this guy up. And he lives far away, but I don't leave money that's waiting on the table while I drive. I spoke to him. Long story short, he's like, yeah, sure. Send me the listing agreement. It sounds good. He loved it. Signed up with a 1% agent. Got over. Surprise, surprise. Called me back up out of nowhere. Completely thought that I lost this guy because he already signed with another agent and his house was huge. I thought I only got, he's definitely going to sell. He only got one offer the whole time he was with this 1% agent. I fell through. He calls me up. He's like, hey, it's so-and-so. I told you that I was going to try it on my own, my way. If it didn't work out, we'll give you a call. So here's the phone call. Can you come check the home out? Man.
That's like the universe telling you, hey, that one wave that hit you, here's a nice little, a nice little surf.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So like that one is pending. And then like another one I just came from today. Another one. This was a for sale by owner, cold call. This is a crazy. This session right here that we're having, realtors, they're gonna love this because like what I'm about to tell you is like so many golden nuggets here, but I'm so happy to give them away. I called this lady up and she was a for sale by owner. She's been getting pounded out on the phone. She was very like defensive. She didn't want to like really like talk to me, you know, just the normal cold call. Long story short, she's like, yeah, I already have it on Zillow. My friend's a broker. They're going to put it on the MLS, blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. So I basically told her, well, listen, I could offer you some financial benefit and just benefit in general. And without any cost, without any signatures or listing agreements or whatever, because you already have that taken care of. So I offered this woman free Facebook campaign and I would host her open houses for her for free. Now people are asking me, why would you do that? Well, one, that's free buyer leads that walk into the door.
There you go.
Why the f*** would I want to do it?
Yeah.
Right? That's one. Two, you have, you're paying some Facebook ads, big deal. How much are you paying Zillow? $10,000 a month? $5,000 a month? You can't spend $10 a day, $300 a month, $200 a month, $100 a month, just to push some traffic into your open house. And not only that, she's offering to give me, if I get her a buyer, 3%. I'm winning every way. I'm winning in every way possible. I'm keeping busy. I'm active. I got buyer leads coming into the door and they're seeing my face that's not behind the screen. And if any one of those buyers pull the trigger, I get 3%. You tell me why I wouldn't want to do that. You're too good. Well, because you want a listing agreement? You want a signature?
That's actually an interesting strategy, man. Hosting open houses for FSBOs. I've never heard that before, dude. I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's super creative.
Yeah, I've never heard that. Is that like, I mean, is that a normal thing? Like, have you heard that multiple times?
No, it's not a normal thing.
Dude, that is, he's like, of course not. Dude, we're going to give you credit for that. That is interesting. I'm going to test that with some from real estate agents. That is a very interesting idea. Yeah. Hosting open houses for FSBOs. Because it's big, especially for new agents. Obviously, veteran agents, they give away their own open houses because they don't want to spend the time there, which is kind of crazy in a way. But, but especially if you're new in an area. I love that, man. That is awesome. That was worth the whole podcast right there for people. That is freaking awesome.
You know,
I got to test that.
Like, you have to, so like, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. And then like, now I met her and I promise you that she's probably most likely going to end up signing with me because
Oh, the relationship. You're sitting in her living room. Yeah, dude, you can be sweet as pie. Well, maybe, I mean, you'll be edgy as pie, but
no, that's a sweet side. I see a sweet side.
I told.
Well, look at the pearly whites, man. I mean, come on.
When I got there, she asked me, she's like, "Why are you here?" And I brought my title rep with me as well, like, because she had a problem with her title. I was like, "I'll bring that too. Just mad value up front. Just take it all up front. I want to show you that I'm not." And I did not show up with a folder with no pen. No listing agreement, just in case, nothing. My intent was to go there, help you, meet you, tell you my intentions, which I told her I'm here because I want to do things for you for free. Because if anything ever were to happen in the future, you would consider using me for any of your real estate needs. And they both looked at me like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's cool. Now they saw me, no more barriers. I'm going to see her again. And she's most likely going to end up signing with me, even if it's for 3-4%, because I helped her so much, and not only that, she's getting pounded out with phone calls.
Yeah.
She wants it to stop.
Yep.
So she's like, how does it stop? I'm like, well, the only way it stops, and not to sell you or nothing, is by having a listing agreement, and not because I want to.
It's to pay me to be your real estate bodyguard.
Make you list with me, because because realtors can't go behind realtors' back and try to steal the listing.
Yep.
So that's the ultimate shield. She goes, oh, that makes sense. So that's already in her mind. I'm good with that. I don't got to say anything else.
Dude, I love that.
We're good. Let's proceed.
I'll tell you, there's a golden nugget in there, too, that he just stated, guys, which is always state your intention with the prospect. You want to be super clear at the beginning of your phone call, super clear what you're trying to do, and even to the standpoint of how much time you're going to take. State your intention. People like that. It brings down their guard, makes them feel comfortable. All right. I got to ask you, man, we always ask this to every interview that comes on. We have 2 questions we always ask them. So I want to ask you, everybody's searching for the formula for success, myself included. I always tell people we know logically it doesn't exist. There's no magic formula out there. But I'm always curious asking successful people, if you look at your life, what's the routine that you do daily or weekly, whatever it is? What routines are in your life that have driven success for you?
My brother, I'm going to be very honest with you about this one. There is...
Keep it PG. Wait, this podcast's not PG. Okay, go ahead. Share.
No, because everybody, ever since this entrepreneurial boom, everybody's into this morning mantra. Like, bro.
Amen, man.
It drives me crazy. It's like, you have people like entrepreneur, like whatever, like, and like Forbes, like driving hella traffic, getting paid mad money for like the 10 top morning mantras from the most like successful people, blah, blah, blah. Like, like, dude, no, man. Like, first of all, it's what works. It's what works for them.
Yes.
Right. But just to cut the fluff, what I know is fact, and what I know is the formula, and I think is the perfect formula, and it's literally a natural law. And a lot of people won't get this because they won't see deeper than the words. They'll just hear and be like, yeah, that sounds cliche as fuck. Or like, yeah, that's really like generic and kumbaya sounding, right? I get that because it does sound like that, and it's, you know, it's whatever. However, it's the craziest thing, man. But the architect of the world built this a certain way, and this is one of the foundations of it. Whatever you believe in, right, will occur and happen. If you believe that manifestation is real and that if you keep visualizing about something, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. If you believe that the world is more logical, like, yeah, no, listen, not everything happens for a reason, my guy. Things happen because you did this and did that and then this happened. That's the way the life is going to respond back to you. Whatever you output right into the world, that's what you're going to get back. And people don't realize that that's why all these successful people have so many different things. It's because it's whatever they believed in. It's whatever worked for them. And everybody's trying to compile together like, okay, so I'll read in the morning. I'll go to the gym. I'll do this. Bill Gates does this. Zuck does this. That guy does this. And it's like, you're going to drive yourself nuts, bro. What works for you? What works for you?
That's a good statement.
And that's what the world is going to reply back with. It's the same kind of energy, man. We all walk around with a frequency. All of us do. We all have a frequency, a signature. It's a frequency. We all walk around with this signature energy, and it fluctuates depending on our mood and how we think and what we do and et cetera, et cetera. So it's, you know, like, and I want to say one more thing, and then after that, you guys, I don't know if you guys got anything left, but one thing is really, I want everybody to understand this. Cause it's like, once you learn this, I don't know how you can like wake up the next day and still think the same or operate the same. I read this, in a book. I recommend everybody to read this book. It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's very popular. It's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Now, one of them, there's so many that book is like, you can read that every month. It's that kind of book. Cause you'll get takeaways every time. But one thing that is, the biggest takeaway is this, man. We are all matter, right? We're matter. The microphones are matter. The table you're sitting on is matter. The table I'm sitting on is, whatever, my chair is matter. Everything around us is matter. The only difference between us and the cans and the bush outside is that we are a conscious matter. We have a conscience. Now that has a humongous impact and contrast, and there's and it has an impact and an effect on the rest of the world, right? Because even the matter that doesn't have a conscience still has energy, frequency, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what the fuck is different then? If we all have energy and we all have a frequency and yada, 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 what's the difference? We have a conscience. Okay, so we have a conscience. What does that do? The conscience is literally the ultimate key, is the key to this whole world that we live in, right? It makes you, it's like mind-bending kind of thing where you can alter your future. And even in the past, some argue in the past as well, but that's a whole other story. That's way too crazy to get into. using your conscience, because your conscience is basically energy. You know how much electricity is in us, bro? How much electricity, like, we like house inside of us. There's a lot, we are made up of a lot of energy. Like, there's a lot going on inside of us.
It's interesting.
In our minds.
As you're saying, it makes me think. I don't know if you've read the book Think and Grow Rich. Have you read that book? That visualization and that idea. Yes. And it's the same thing about like vision boards and stuff like that. And so much of it is, you know, and I know there's tons of different, obviously, theories and really studies done on this type of stuff. But it's kind of this idea of you have a goal, you're visualizing that goal. And these type of things, this visualization is a constant reminder. And what drives success? Well, you are what I would tell the audience is you are the product of your habits. You're the product of your habits as a human.
Yes.
And so if you want to change who you are as a product, like if you want to change who you are as a human, look at your habits. And what's so powerful about visualization, because I agree with so much of what you're saying about visualizing, and what you put out is what you get, is that visualization helps you change your habits, and it helps you change like the energy, like you're talking about this energy that comes from you, this frequency that you have. It helps you change that. So I think that's really good. That's what it made me go to in my mind. It's just as I was listening to you speak, this Think and Grow Rich, your habits, all those things. Let me ask you this final question then. What would you go back and tell your younger self?
What I would tell myself, I would tell myself not to listen, to avoid, in the sweetest and nicest way, my parents' fear and advice about that they have no experience in. I grew up in a very, we grew up broke. I couldn't really afford meat, that kind of, that kind of situation. I'm no special. There's so many people that were way worse than I was. They actually had no shelter, had no home, had no water. So I had it pretty good actually compared to the worst case scenario. But got picked on, whatever. People knew that I was less than back in the day. And, which is why I'll never go back. And my parents, they came from a place of safety, thoughts of safety, to where it's well, you gotta go to school. We're here in America. And I don't blame them. My dad is a lawyer back in Egypt, had his own firm. My mom worked on the second largest she was a biochemist. She worked on the second largest pharmaceutical company on the desert road in Egypt.
Oh, wow.
So they're very educated, smart, people. And when they got here years ago, America was well, you gotta go back to school, your degree. And it's my dad's I got kids, man. We gotta eat now. Okay, well, you're a stock boy at a computer store. Congratulations.
Wow.
So, yeah. So they came from a place where it's okay, we're here. We're sacrificing everything for you, your ass is gonna go to school. Cause that's all they knew. I don't blame them. They had their intent wasn't bad.
Right.
They left everything for me and my brother. Their intent wasn't bad. They just didn't know better. They knew the safest way. The safest way was, we're here, we're sacrificing everything, and we're fine with it. We're gonna eat for all these years, but you're gonna go to school, and you're gonna do great, and you're gonna get a degree, and you're going to work and be okay, and not live the life that we live back at home. I listened to that because I saw how much we struggled, and even as a young kid, I understood that we were broke, and people were buying Jordans, I was going to Payless and buying Shaqs, you know what I mean?
I had a pair of Shaqs.
You know what I mean? But back in Brooklyn, you walk in with Shaqs, you're gonna walk out a different man because they will destroy you. You know what I mean? And you couldn't hide those because they were this fucking wide.
They were giant. Blue, that bright blue,
They're like
right?
boats.
They were so heavy, bro. It was embarrassing. And my mom got me the white ones, the brightest fucking. So anyway, I understood how broke we were, and I understood that my mom and dad were trying their best because I was there for the fights and the arguments. I was there. I understood it. I felt it. I felt bad. Couldn't help. I was too young. And because I understood that, I felt like I had to listen to them. I saw these people literally getting torn up. Couldn't speak the language. My dad was working long hours, driving an hour and a half back and forth from work, going and coming. I was all right, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do this for them. I have to. This is the right way. I wasn't exposed to anything else. And that hurt me a lot. But I'm super thankful because I'm super young. I'm 29. I'm turning 30 in 2 weeks. And I've been on my mindset journey now for the last 5-6 years. So I'm truly blessed to, come out of that. Don't get me wrong. The fear from my childhood of listen, you have to work, you have to get a job, you have to get a steady paycheck, otherwise you can't pay rent, nobody's gonna want to marry you, blah, blah, blah. Who the f*** to get married nowadays anyway? Fuck yeah, but that's another story. For real. And I wish I would have knew that and I wouldn't have stressed it out when I was younger. But, I wouldn't have listened to my mom and dad, and I would have introduced myself to something called mindset. I would introduce myself to positive thinking and listening to positive things and reading positive things and really trying to get close to people that are trying to get to similar places that I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Basically the whole thing that revolves around mindset.
That's great advice, man.
Yeah.
There's actually a kid, I believe his name's Caleb Maddox. He's really popular on like Instagram and YouTube and stuff. And he is developing or has developed some type of course for kids, teaching them mindset and stuff like that. He's like a little Tony Robbins. It's that same idea. We don't teach in school kids the power of positive thinking. We don't teach them this mindset, this attitude and all that stuff. So I think that's great advice.
It's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Mario. Before we close, I know you said it at the beginning, but give people your Instagram handle again. Let them know where they can find and connect with you, man.
You sure you guys want to follow me now?
Dude, man. I love it.
Guys, he's this entertaining every day. It's amazing.
All right, so it's my first and last name. It's Mario, Mario, Eldin, ELD, as in Danny, IN, as in Nancy. Mario Eldin.
All right. Any websites? That's the best place to connect with you on Instagram? Anything else?
Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn.
Cool.
Honest, my handle is the same.
Oh, nice.
I got lucky.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, man. Thank you. So if you like what you heard here on Stay Paid Today, please go on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Make sure to leave a comment. You can also find our podcast, including this one in video, on youtube.com/ReminderMedia or staypaidpodcast.com. And of course, you can check out Reminder Media on social media. We are at Reminder Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Acree. Guys, I'm going to close with this action item. I think it's pretty awesome. And I'm going to do two because, obviously we have a ton of agents that are listening to this, real estate agents. So this is your action item. I want you guys to test the strategy of calling the expireds, not going for the appointment on the first call, and then going and door knocking the ones that are qualified, the cherry picked ones, the ones that you go, yeah, this person, they definitely are looking to sell their home. It's just an emotional state right now. I want you to test that. That's something you could literally implement tomorrow, literally in your expired listing calls, because I'm super curious to see how that works for you guys. And please comment, let us know how that's working. For everybody in terms of the action item, I think this is a great action item for you to do. On your next cold calls, first, if you're not making cold calls, stop being,
Stop being what Mario said.
Yeah. Stop being a wimp and get on the phone and make some phone calls. But be direct. State your intention and be direct. I promise you, if you switch your mindset to where you're not trying to sell somebody necessarily, even though you are, but you are just stating what value you bring to the table, what intention you have, I promise you, you will start engaging more people, because if there's one thing that you can take away from this podcast for sure is authenticity. If you're an authentic person, you will attract the people that share that same vibe as you. And, Simon Sinek says it best, man, to build great organizations, to have great clients, you want to attract the tribe that believes the same thing you do, that has that same almost like frequency, energy level, that they all kind of mastermind together and all have this tribe that comes together. So try those action items this week. Remember, the difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer in any industry is top producers take action. Take action on that today.